Good evening and welcome to the first session of Dansu Dragons. I'm Mike Rovner. I will be your host and Dungeon Master tonight. And our players tonight are Itchy who will be the regular players for this campaign series of Dansu and Dragons. They bring the Dansu, hopefully I'll bring the dragons. From my far right to the left, we have Laura.
I'm the far left.
You keep getting your lefts and rights confused, man.
My far right.
Okay, all right, fine. Hi, I'm Laura.
What's your character's name, though?
And she'll be playing tonight.
Okay.
Gita Jewel Soul.
And what is Gita Jewel Soul?
She's a forest gnome bard, chaotic good entertainer,
Oh my God.
and much like me. How much background do you want me to give?
I just wanted a brief introduction.
Oh, okay.
That's enough.
That's it. Cool. She's a,
Sitting next to Laura.
Yep. Fine.
Sitting next to Laura is Venus.
Hi. I'm just going to introduce my character. Okay, jump
And
right
Venus,
into it.
and tonight you'll be playing.
I'm playing Emvron. She's a Ghostwise Halfling Ranger Sage, and she's lawful neutral.
All right, thank you so much. And next to Venus is Erica.
Okay, and I'm playing Eris Briarwood. She is a tiefling necromancer charlatan who is lawful evil.
And I want to thank everyone for joining us, and we're going to get started with the first episode and first session of Dansu and Dragons.
Woo!
Yay.
All right. Start the clock.
Gotta calm myself down.
We begin our story on the beating wings of a seagull, over the calling over the hiss of distant and nearby waves.
That's dramatic.
So poetic.
As it flies by, we see the port and harbor city of Southgate, a smattering of building and construction from the disparate cultures and kingdoms of the region along this large inland sea. Eventually it does connect to the ocean, but it's mostly a surrounded sea. We find ourselves with three different travelers in this place for very different reasons. Not too far from the docks, fresh arrivals all, looking to make something of themselves, unload something, or acquire something.
Deep. Sorry.
And we find among alleyways and roadways of cobbles and broken wheels, Rory's Pawn Emporium.
Just made that on the fly.
Rory's Pond
Rory.
Emporium.
Rory Pub.
Name sounds a little
Dawn's
familiar.
Pawn Emporium. I don't know.
Pawn.
I'm trying to get it right. It's like the
Pawn shop this way.
Yep.
And so, in the dying light of the evening, a figure skulks through the door, seeking to sell their ill-got gain.
Who could it be?
I've already rolled my eyes.
It's me.
A small rusted bell jangles above the door as you push through. The wooden door is worn from the constant salt in the air. It's probably not too old, but already it shows sign of disrepair and rot. The inside fares a bit better as you see across a metal gated desk behind which exist shelves of bits, bobs, and objects. Blades, shields, potions, pieces of art, tools, whatever people have had to part with for a few coins. There, behind the grated desk, the bars between you and him, over a small slide area and an area that looks like is meant to be open as a larger door for larger goods or even someone simply leaving from behind the desk, is a rather short and heavy-set dwarf, wearing a knit cap above his brow, with a small pom-pom on top.
Nice.
Rolled sleeves of a workman's tunic, and suspenders visible, extending from beneath the desk. He sits there, possibly higher than he would standing, looking out at you from over the desk. Beard spotted with a little bit of gray, twitching with his nose. "What you got?" he says in a rough voice.
Before we get to that, can I ask where you got that sweet hat?
Me mum made it for me.
Can your mom make me one too?
Me mother's dead.
Sorry to hear that.
No, you're not.
Really not, but I'm trying to. Okay.
Is there, by the way, sorry, is there a way we should denote when we're like in character or?
If you'd like.
Okay.
Everybody
if you'd
just
like
put a
to,
shoe on their head.
Well, you're obviously not in the scene right now, so you're very much out of character.
I
If
just
you need
mean
to
for
clarify,
future.
but for the future,
No.
I have a bunch of suggestions for just a regular table, but for a show, who can say? Just we'll play it by ear, and you want to denote that was not in character. This is me reacting to something.
Clearly.
And then we can take it back from there.
Okay, sorry.
Or if you eventually find a certain way of speaking or cadence that matches your character that
boy.
you would not normally use, so you would react with that and however you want to play it. But we have this tense moment in the night. A surly, perhaps offended dwarf, you're not sure, leers at you from behind iron bars.
Hang on a second, I'll be right back.
Honestly, I don't give a crap about it.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back, real quick.
You might say that never mind, I forget what I was going with that.
Oh, welcome back.
You might say it's, oh my god.
Knit cap with a pom-pom.
I couldn't help it. I have one.
Well
And it
played.
matches.
You might say the bars are great.
You're starting already.
It begins. It begins.
All right.
Shut up.
Don't be sorry.
So I got this little box. It's passed down from my family, and I've fallen on hard times. I just really need to get something for this. Like, what can you do? What can you do for me?
First, I'm going to ask you to roll me a charisma deception check.
Oh,
So take a look at your skills. I believe you have deception.
starting with numbers already.
Where is?
Skills.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't write it down, did you?
No, I don't have.
Well, that's going to be your proficiency bonus and your charisma bonus, so you can pencil that in.
It's 4.
Yes, I can't.
2 plus
So roll
2
me a
is
20-sided
4.
die, please.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I really
Don't
need
drop
to
it. Oh no, here I go.
Oh no, it's a 3. It's not a. Yeah.
That's no
What was your total?
3.
Wait.
No,
three is
plus
not-
the bonus I asked you to roll to.
Okay.
7.
So
7.
Now, we've never played before properly, but I'm pretty sure that's a bad roll.
Yeah.
yeah, and my first roll of the evening isn't doing anyone else any favors. Well, maybe it's doing you a favor. As he said, that's a sad story. My brother had to sell the clan axe when I was still a lad, he says, commiserating.
Yeah, it's very sad.
And give it here and I'll give it a look. And I'll see if I can put together a fair price for you.
Yeah, you do have a box.
Begins inspecting it, pulls out a jeweler's loop.
So sad.
As you are watching him do that, please roll. What it would be 10 plus your perception score. And if you don't have perception, 10 plus your wisdom modifier.
Don't have perception.
Then what's your wisdom mod?
Wisdom.
Oof.
0. It's
0?
11. But yeah.
Okay. You don't. Nothing jumps out at you in the shop. There should be a small bar at the bottom there for passive perception. You can just write a 10 in that for you, Erica. And anyone else, it's just 10 plus your perception or 10 plus your wisdom modifier.
That's a 0.
Perception.
So
13.
10.
I have 10 as well.
Okay, okay. Good to
My
know.
hands over here.
I'm just making a note of what everyone's is.
Thanks for making me choose perception, guys.
13. Good for me to know these numbers, so I don't have to ask you for them when I'm asking for passive checks, not active checks. And he begins looking over the music box.
Perception.
At this point, the bell rings again.
Uh-oh.
And in walks, well, please. Well, actually, we didn't get a description of your character, Erica, but I imagine you're a bit disguised. Are you looking like your normal tiefling self, or?
Just a bunch of robes. What do I have? I have fine clothes. I have a disguise kit. What does the disguise kit?
It just contains a bunch
mustache.
of disparate. It contains. That's my shtick.
Seriously, just walking like, hello.
Mr. Spaghetti.
I have a sturdy traveling outfit, so let me just be wearing that.
Okay.
You have a
I look a little
traveling.
worn,
Oh, traveling
a little
outfit.
tired.
Okay.
I look like I traveled a long distance.
Okay. So noted. That's how you're looking right now.
Yeah.
And oh, the bell, as I said, rings again. I'm going to put a little sound effect in post.
Thank you.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
And Venus, please describe as you would be walking into this shoddy pawn shop, how your character looks. If what you're wearing. No?
Short.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Short halfling, heavy cloak.
You gotta have glasses.
I
No
don't
cloak?
have one.
Okay.
Just common clothes.
Okay.
That's it.
Just hiking boots, stuff like that.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yes.
In walks
Exactly.
a figure of short stature,
Yeah.
with
All right,
pointed
all right,
ears
all right.
and perhaps eagle eyes. And at the sound of the bell, you hear a voice ahead say, "I'm with another customer. Queue up behind, I'll be with you in a minute." And you indeed see a woman wrapped in traveler's clothes, a hardy but worn outfit, standing ahead of you, blocking your sight up of the desk and whatever lies behind it. But on a high shelf from here, you clearly see the target of your presence. A blue-tinted thin rapier, a sword,
That's why I like it.
a sword of the ancient Elvish make, of a culture lost to history.
Adios, Neil.
You can't speak Elvish.
I can't.
On a high shelf.
On a high shelf,
Damn
which is why she can still see it. Even though it's your view is like the person, there's a tall desk ahead of you.
I'm sure the dwarf has a lot of room.
Actually, I have a question.
Yes.
Is the desk taller than our heights?
The desk is taller than the dwarf's height, for sure, so yes, it is
Yeah.
taller than your
Dang
heights.
it. Okay.
Y'all need a lift up.
Oh, I didn't come in. Okay.
Well, you're at the counter though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if you even saw me yet. It's, like you might not even just be paying attention to me.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He puts the music box back down the slide and says, "If you want an offer, I'll give you 7 gold pieces."
Oh, that's more than I need.
what do you?
Man, this. Oh God, this box is just. My mom. She was really sick and. Could really use a little more for some medicine.
All right, I'm going to ask you for another perception, please.
Just another gold or two, just to make it through the cold winter.
To tug at his
Dear Lord.
heartstrings.
Okay.
To tug at the fellow's heartstrings.
Oh my god.
And while this is happening, Venus, can I
Because I
get...
don't have a nice hat like you do.
Venus, could I please get from you an insight check? So roll the skill insight, and if you don't have that, just roll a straight wisdom check.
You don't, so.
Okay. Oh, so is it 19 plus 1?
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh.
All right. And
job.
Erica, that deception check, please.
13.
Plus,
A little better.
Plus
For what?
plus your deception.
Oh. I have to say.
Do I have that?
Yes.
Wait, did you say plus perception for me?
Oh, I do.
Insight.
Insight.
Or
okay.
wisdom.
Okay,
So
okay,
you're-
okay. Yeah.
Plus 4.
So total?
17.
It's not a
17.
natural. Not natural.
Venus? Embron?
Embrin.
Embrin can kind of gets the feeling that the person ahead of her is just telling a sob story and lying through her teeth.
You think?
Pointy teeth.
I don't know, rat me out.
Her little fangs.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
But you can't see me. I'm like up here. And have my
Yeah,
He
yeah.
considers a moment.
Sorry.
I could give ye 9 gold.
bless your heart.
No, child, I know hard times.
It's real tough.
And if you can make the money back, he counts some gold out from under the counter and puts the coins in front of you, while also sliding a ticket for the pawn item before it catches someone else's eye.
What does? The ticket?
The item.
The music box.
Okay.
It's you know how pawn
Oh
shops
my
work?
god, you
They give you a
guys.
receipt.
No.
Oh, well, at pawn shops, you bring an item you
guys.
want to sell, but potentially buy back because you need money in the short term. It's like
Right.
collateral for a loan, and he's giving you a receipt. So if you bring the receipt for the item,
You can buy your chip
you
back.
can buy your shit back.
Is there interest?
You know, I
You
actually don't know.
especially.
I do not know.
Okay.
What was the question?
Is there interest?
Oh.
Oh.
He then says, "The Somnic blessings upon you," he says, referencing the name of one of the regional churches.
And upon you as well, kind sir.
And with your spirit.
With that, he hops down off out from behind the desk, going completely behind the desk, and there's a shuffling sound as a small gated window with another little slide in it opens on the bottom side of the desk where he is standing at a little higher than eye level with you.
Can I muffle some laughter? Because
Yes,
that
you
would
can.
probably be hilarious to me. Okay.
What can I do you for?
Oh god, don't make me act, please. Please. I'm not ready for this yet.
Oh, just tell me what your character says. My character says.
I don't know
approach-
what she says.
All right. He's a salesman. He's got something you want.
How much for that sword? How much for that sword? In the window. Up there.
That sword. Got it about a month ago. Hasn't really moved yet. I'm willing to go for. Actually, look up what a cost of a rapier is base, just real quick. What he's going to charge for it because he's trying to move product. He's selling it for the standard market price of a rapier in the vicinity of 20-25 gold pieces. But at the same time, but you know it might be worth more to a collector.
Right.
Ooh.
Could I trade you anything for it? Do you want to take over?
No.
Because I'm not ready for this, clearly.
No, it's fine. Do you want to have me come in?
I was about to just
Okay.
introduce something.
Could you not include me until I'm
Until you're ready?
for things, please?
Well,
'Cause
So you've come
not
in,
gonna
you've
work.
heard the price of the sword, and you're departing
and
because
I'm about to. Okay, that's nice. Bye.
That sounds pretty accurate to your character, actually, so it works.
as you ring the bell exiting and find yourself in the alleyway, perhaps unable to deal with some interaction with these city folk, or just folk in more volume than you're used to, a stomping sound comes from up the street. Or not a stomping sound, the sound of kind of off-key singing and the tweedling of a flute.
It's a recorder.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if they have recorders in this world, so I just think
Recorder,
it's a flute.
flute,
But
woodwind.
it's a flute that,
Woodwind.
in essence, sounds like a recorder, which is not great.
An off-pitch whistling sound, we'll call it.
Tootie horn.
As turning the corner of this alley is perhaps a garishly dressed.
Yes. Perhaps with
Describe the figure
sequins.
turning the corner.
Oh gosh, I don't know. chaotic is my alignment and chaotic is my outfit, I should say. Oh
my god.
Mismatched components, sleeves that don't make sense with each other.
Yeah.
Mismatched everything.
I feel like part of it should just be like my common clothes, and then
bits and bobs of fluffy stage costumes.
Bobs of like costumes that I like pulled out on my way there because I'm like, should I be fancier? Should I not be fancy? Should I be fancy? I'm gonna be fancy. I'm gonna be fancy.
How do you currently feel about your fame? Do you feel famous enough?
No one has quashed my dreams yet. I think.
Yet.
In your mind, do you think you're more famous than you are?
I think I'm way better than I am.
Oh no.
Which is why no one has had the heart to tell my character. They just were like subtle ways of trying to get me out of the town so that people would come back to it.
Well then, allow me to continue describing.
So I'm still happy.
She is clearly a gnome, but walks with a presence larger than herself. The few people on the evening streets giving her a wide berth, decidedly.
Yep.
And you come upon a pawn shop you were directed to earlier, seeking to unload your confusing parcel.
If you know what I mean.
What?
I don't know.
Do you have to use the bathroom?
No.
Embrin, she walks right past you, ringing the bell of the door as she heads to the pawn stop, not pausing in her fluting and singing from nowhere.
Well, I'm glad I'm leaving then. Jeez.
Harsh. Did she say that out loud? Did you say that out loud?
Yeah. But like under my breath though.
Okay. I probably can't hear you over all the fluting.
No.
All right. And so,
Eris,
you find that walking into the place with you.
That?
Yes.
You find that.
You, as you're preparing to leave with your coin gotten and your receipt, you should mark those down on your sheet.
Oh, wait.
Wait, what are you marking?
The gold you've gotten.
Oh, it was 9, right?
So now I just update this?
Yes.
Cool. Look at you.
Oh, that's gonna be obnoxious.
Yeah. Hey, good thing we have these erasers.
I know, but still.
Right, lightly, I guess. Okay.
All right. As you're preparing to leave, the door opens and that bars your way.
Kick open the door. And I play the last note of the song I was playing with the flourish, and then put away my flute.
Can I give you my best stank look?
Yes, absolutely.
It's okay because I did it on the way out.
All right. Am I leaving?
Well, you're starting to leave, but she's still standing in your way. Like,
Why do people always stop in the doorways? Jeez.
Well, my character would definitely stop in the doorway. All right, so.
while that's going on, this nonverbal exchange, Embrin, as you're walking away from this scene and that bit of ridiculousness, you pass the alley alongside the pawn shop. Tight between two buildings, a little bit claustrophobic perhaps, but you see down the alley with your passive perception of 13, someone being sneaky and up to something nefarious. A handful of hoodlums, you can't tell much, packing glass files against the wall of the pawn shop's back.
None of my business.
Do you have a drink with you? Because that would be freaking
I have the
hilarious.
water, but it's not tea.
Carry around a little bottle.
Yeah, can you carry like a flask?
Wow, did you Eiffel Tower me?
Flask of tea, I think that's appropriate.
So just going to continue walking past?
Yep.
Jesus.
All right.
Lawful neutral indeed.
None of my business.
A tea.
Up to something, but nope.
Well, back inside the shop.
Oh, did you write the tea thing down? I thought they were kidding, because I don't have anything to hold that in.
Oh, I don't know. Don't you have a flask in one of these?
Nope.
Water skin.
Oh. True.
Can you put the...
Yeah,
a flask is just like a metal water skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot I had that. See,
And a
this
wine
is
skin
already
a wine skin is just
atrocious.
the water.
That's why we're writing it down.
It doesn't, it's written down and I still forgot it. That's bad.
And Mike will remember for us, right, Mike?
I remember a lot.
That's his job. Yeah. You made a whole character for me once, and I didn't remember any of it.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna play this for me, right? Because I'm not gonna remember any of this.
Well, as the two of you are giving each other the nonverbal exchange of "get out of my way" and "look at me" inside the front of the pawn shop, the dwarf seems confused for a moment.
I think you're trying to bow, and so I just start bowing to you.
And we're doing this like back and forth, like I'm going left, you're going right.
You're a wonderful dancer.
Yeah.
As you begin doing that, ensuing a motion that could be construed as dance, a haunting melody begins to sound.
Fuck.
Dansu Dragons.
On
That's
a
the name.
Saturday night.
A haunting melody begins sounding from the counter behind you. And both you turn to see even the dwarf looking at the music box as its hand crank is turning on its own. Embra, you too hear this music. A particular music that a tune you've read about or heard.
Read about.
The rumor of a
That
strange...
sounds like the music I read once.
You've heard tell of strange spectral music preceding calamity. And at which point, as the two of you in the shop are entranced by this music box that is oddly loud, and you outside the shop who can hear this distant series of chimes, there is an explosion. And the dwarf is
Wait,
not
where's the explosion?
Yeah.
in the alleyway you walked away from.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
What a coinky dink.
The dwarf at the counter is knocked hard against the iron bars of his of his desk and slumps over unconscious.
No.
As a quartet of poorly masked figures in canvas clothes rush into the back of the pawn shop with sacks of burlap
Fuck.
and begin knocking things quickly off the shelves. And you clearly hear the explosion because you're outside.
Yeah.
And if you poke your head back, you see people rushing into the back of the pawn shop you just left.
Damn.
What do each of you do?
I scream.
Okay.
Did you roll to see how loud she screamed?
No? You scream.
Okay.
I'll go back into the shop.
We'll come to that momentarily. And what do you do?
I cough and get pissy that my clothes are dirty.
All right. And with that,
Has this explosion harmed any of us, or
Wait,
just the
was
dwarf?
yeah.
it was on the back end of the shop, and
But it's
So-
with grates, and it threw him against the grate.
it threw the dwarf against the grate.
But
You're
we're
on the other
okay?
side of the grate. You're
Oh.
not on the side of the grate of the
I know.
explosion.
Is
Well,
there
what else was
smoke in it?
damaged?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the back of the shop and the wall leading
Right, but
into the shop.
if it was a narrow alleyway, then
Well, there's obviously some damage to the building next to it as well, but it looks like people are rushing into this gaping hole in the side of this pawn shop.
All right.
Oh, I gotta hide in the corner.
So I'm going to ask you then to roll for initiative.
me?
Everyone, because you're running back in, and we're now in rounds of action to determine who does what.
How do we roll for initiative?
15.
You're going to roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier.
Fuck, 18.
All right.
Guess
I'm
who's
gonna
going
ask you
first?
8 plus 2.
All right.
10.
Eris,
7.
7. Embron,
18.
and
Gita.
Gita.
10.
Surprise.
Okay, let me order this initiative up.
Awkward silence.
So, okay. Initiative is a d20 plus what?
Your dex mod.
Plus 2.
Top of the order is Embron. You've rushed
Surprise.
back into the
Yes,
front of the
what a
shop,
surprise.
and you see the dwarf.
Shove. You're still in the doorway.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You rush past the halfling and see The shop is...
I am the halfling.
Oh, you rush past the gnome. The halfling rushes past the gnome. In fact, you walk through her square.
No, I can't, because she's
on the same
small.
side.
Oh yeah, well, you rush through the other side of the square, and you push her out of the way.
What?
It's like, she pushes me out of the way, so she
Yeah.
can
Push
my
you out of
space
the way.
anyway, so it's fine.
You dart back into the shop to see the dwarf slumped over the desk, pressed against the iron bars, bleeding.
Ugh.
You see the back of his shop in disarray, and a bunch of 4 dudes in canvas clothes with burlap sacks just knocking things off the shelves into the sacks, including the sheathed rapier.
No.
What do you do?
Cuss.
Okay.
I don't know. What can I do? We're on the other side of the bars.
Are the grates still locked?
The grates are perhaps large enough for an arm to pass through.
I got little arms. What am I gonna do?
Well, you also are possessed of perhaps a bow and an arrow.
Yeah.
Do you want to yell at them? Like how?
Well, what do you think the cussing is?
Okay.
Fuck!
There we go.
Jesus.
Butterscotch.
Yeah.
This is not going well, is it?
Loud enough to get their attention, or
Just this
Probably
reaction.
not. Like, why would? There's probably a lot of people screaming if there was just an explosion.
There are indeed screams coming from the streets.
See, so nobody's gonna hear one more voice.
okay.
See?
Does she have to do something? Could she be frozen?
If you want
That's
to
a normal
let your
reaction.
turn pass, we can come back to it later.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just mean like that's a normal
Well,
reaction
then that's
someone
the
has to
easy way
try.
out, and I'm
Oh,
just gonna
yeah.
do that every time.
Okay, then how about this? It was none of your business until these guys are about to take what you were trying to figure out that you needed
Well,
to get.
yeah, I mean, obviously now it's become my business because I want the sword, but what the hell what can I do? I got little arms, I'm not gonna reach past those bars. One more voice isn't gonna make any difference. What is there for me to do?
Shoot a motherfucker.
I guess.
Are there police in this town?
There is certainly a city guard, and they might respond to this matter
But
soon.
it'll be a while.
Yeah.
Dang, is nobody nearby?
Well, we're in combat rounds now, so you can choose to do nothing, or perhaps answer the call of adventure.
You're gonna make me shoot them, aren't you?
I'm not going to make you do anything.
Okay. I'll shoot them.
Pew pew.
I don't really like that's not an immediate reaction for me. So. Oh look, we're at the halfway point. Can we take a break?
We'll take a short break and come back to this combat in action. And we're back in the midst of chaos and burglary, as the side of a pawn shop has been blown open by thievish ne'er-do-wells, and our party finds themselves in the middle of unfortunate action and circumstances.
Question.
Yes.
How long have I been doing this ranger thing? Because if it's like not if I haven't been at it very long, then I won't have like a reaction to shoot them yet. I'm just like panic instead.
Perhaps you've been doing this for a few months, maybe even a few years.
Years I would have the reaction.
Okay.
I don't know.
7 months is probably more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of coming into your own
Okay.
as a
Yeah.
character.
So at the moment, you're going to continue with the frozen
Yeah.
reaction?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Shocked at the sight of the man you just saw earlier, who you had trouble speaking to, bleeding across his counter, while thieves ransack his shop. After that, we turn to Gita.
Oh, right, okay.
That's you.
I was just debating whether I should actually just scream, but that's probably a terrible idea, so...
Don't blow my mics out.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
So let's see.
Oh, your mic's back on?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm still right next to Embrin?
Embrin?
Right? She just shoved me out of the way, so I'm like close-ish to her, right?
Yeah, you're closest to her.
Okay.
Pause a second.
All good.
All right, so you're not going to scream.
No, I'm not gonna scream.
Okay.
Not going to actually scream. You can scream
No,
in
but-
game.
Your character screams. Or what are you doing?
Is there anywhere close to me that would be a significant place to hide?
There are
Behind the tall one.
there's a small table by the door and chair. You could easily crouch under either.
Am I closer to it or to Embrin?
I would say, considering she was in the door, you're closer to Embrin.
I clutch her for dear life and start flailing.
What are you doing?
Yeah, basically.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
All right.
Actually scream.
No, it's fine.
And is that your turn?
Yeah. That's okay. I have cowardly under my claws.
Oh, that's right, that's right, that's
so-
right.
All right.
Like, I literally just left my village, like, probably a week ago, not even.
After that, it is Eris.
Okay.
Erica's gonna leave the fuck out of this party.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. First thing.
Here's
Come
what
on,
we're
kids,
gonna
let's go. Well, first, I want to find out if that dwarf's hat is dirty. Like, did he get blood on it?
You can't tell from here, but it just appears to have a little bit of soot from the blast.
Well, that's okay.
totally
Can I just, like, stick my hand through the bars and grab it?
Are you doing this noticeably or trying to do it sneakily?
They're looking. It's on the other side, so they're looking.
Okay, so you're just gonna walk
Yeah,
over
but
and
we're
grab his
just-
hat?
we're just
I'm
kind of like.
screaming and shaking her, so.
All right, you move back over to the desk. You grab his hat as a free object interaction. You still have an action and a bonus action to use if you want to use them this turn.
Can I pick them up both under my arms and just, like, walk out? They look really scared.
I am going to say, since
my
they're
God.
not doing anything, you're just going to have to roll a... I'm going to ask you to roll a check to start a small grapple. And just...
A small grapple.
Maybe does she have to like break us apart first, then pick us up, or is it just one action where she can just kind of
Scoop.
I just need you...
Oh, better.
Better?
Better. They're screaming. Can I
I'm
just, like,
screaming.
put my hand, like, over their mouths so that the dudes do not notice us?
You can attempt to do so. And please make a dexterity check.
Okay.
Roll the d20 and add your dex modifier.
Nice.
19.
19.
Well, given both their ACs, I'm gonna say you are easily able to walk up and put your hand just over both of their mouths to stifle their screaming.
I'm not saying anything. I'm literally
Or
only screaming.
only the one that's
Okay.
screaming. Well,
Yeah,
you're
okay.
just shocked that someone's grabbing you and shaking you.
Okay.
But you put your mouth over the screaming gnome's face.
Put your mouth over the gnome's
You put your
face.
hand over the screaming gnome's mouth.
Are we there already?
I think we had a very long day of character creation leading up to this, so we are at what I would like to refer to technically as stupid
o'clock.
Yeah.
Nice.
The best time for the worst ideas.
Okay.
So that is effectively your turn. After which, it is the thieves, who, despite your efforts, have clearly noticed your presence in the shop.
I've been screaming for like 10 seconds.
Well, since it started, six seconds.
6. Okay, sorry, 6 seconds.
And
Still, that's a vine.
Yeah.
one of them says something through the muffled canvas on his face, because he's got canvas wrappings, and points and taps one of his mates on the shoulder while he's shoving stuff into his sack and points to the 3 of you. So he goes over to the dwarf. One of them goes, that one that's tapped goes over to the dwarf, pulls the key ring off his belt, opens the little door on the side of the desk, pushes it open, and then holds up a crossbow pointed at the 3 of you and says something through muffled canvas on his face, which you, with the 13 passive perception, clearly hear as hands up or I'll shoot.
Please don't steal my stuff.
Or rather,
Oh boy.
Okay.
and he makes that threat, points the thing as the other 3 in the back, and now the door is open, continue to ransack the pawn shop. After which, it's the dwarf. He's going to make a saving throw
Oh no. I don't like that face.
and continue to bleed on the groaning
You took his
in pain.
hat. Oh, he's alive. Good.
After which, top the order with Embren.
God. Okay, so I've heard what he said, muffled as it was. Muffled as it was.
Yes.
But you're still holding on to me.
I'm still holding on to you, and both our mouths are covered, right?
No, just
just-
yours.
Oh, just mine. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess I'm trying to struggle to break free to follow his orders,
Okay.
but I can't because how strong are you? 'Cause you can she
yeah,
hold
Well,
me?
she's not in a full-on grapple. She's just grabbing someone like to interact
But it's
with.
just
Yeah,
like
but
it's
do we
still
need to, like-
uncomfortable. Like I'm
Yeah, it's
struggling
on-
to get
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
We need to like roll against each other or something.
if we want to overcomplicate
Sounds
this.
filthy.
You know
Oh my
what
god.
If we want to overcomplicate things tonight.
No,
Oh, yeah?
no. We're not overcomplicated. It's
Okay,
already
let's not then.
overcomplicated.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
No,
very
please.
weak, so she can probably
Yeah.
break free.
Okay. So I do.
Okay.
I'll break free and I'll put my hands right the hell up
Okay.
and
Continue.
Put your hands right the hell up.
that's it. That's my
And
turn.
you're going to do the turn following directions. After which, it's Gita. You've been, shoved away a little bit as the person you were screaming and hanging on to has shot their hand straight up at whatever the muffled person pointing the crossbow at you has said.
Really, I mean, it's,
The
you don't
pointy
really
tip,
need words,
The
do you?
pointy tip of the arrow or the bolt lodged in the crossbow, primed to strike, shimmers in the candlelight.
Wait, what? What does?
The pointy tip of the bolt, like,
Oh, you can see
reflects
that.
candlelight.
Can I?
I'm saying the general descriptive text of the room.
You can see.
But you didn't really hear what he said. Just like,
Yeah, I can see what better.
You can see better that it's shining in the candlelight because you can see in dim light, right? Like it's
Yeah, you can
regular
see better in
light.
the dark.
Yeah.
Wait, now you say, okay, is it shimmering weirdly?
No,
or
just
you're
shimmering.
saying it's like
I'm just-
threateningly.
it's threatening.
Oh, okay. Let me think. That has it dislodged her mouth from my her mouth from my face. Her hand from my face.
Oh, we're
You
there.
can step away from her hand
We're there.
easily.
Okay.
Well, if I've hold. If I've done this a little bit.
The hand is obviously gone by that point.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So
The entire little smattering has been taken a bit apart.
And so then Eris is also like, the fuck? It's fucking short people, man.
I feel.
Step on you. What are we doing?
I'm doing something
Yes.
eventually.
I don't like all this pressure.
I don't know.
Danger.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not
good at
real
that.
danger.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If only you could do something that just, makes all this madness stop and people stop pointing things like perhaps, I don't know, a lullaby.
A what?
Sing us a nice
Oh
song.
wow! If only I had that ability.
If only you had that.
Only I
ability.
had-
Can I do that? I'm assuming I can.
You are really gonna have to take us by the
Yeah,
wrist
I
and
don't-
lead us
okay.
around.
Yes. You have a spell you can cast.
I do?
You
You picked yours.
I know, but which one? Oh, Dissonant Whisper.
no, didn't you take sleep?
No.
Oh,
I took sleep.
she took. Oh,
Yeah.
well, you got this guy pointing a thing at you. Perhaps you could cause him to not be pointing it at you by walking away from you and taking some mental damage.
Yeah.
Your Dissonant Whispers hurt someone psychically and then causes them to move away from you.
Oh, I didn't know it caused them to move away from me. Will that make him put down the pointy thing?
It will make them
know,
far
will it?
enough away from you that perhaps you'll be able to make a break for it later.
No, that's not worth it. Let me see. Sorry, give me a minute.
It's cool.
Take a moment.
Shoot. Okay, well, I'm still a coward. I think maybe my character will develop later, but I think for now, I just, whatever the nearest thing by me is, I just let out a squeak and try to hide behind that, while throwing my arms up as well.
Okay. Take an action to hide while you throw yourself for cover underneath the table.
Sure.
So you have half cover for any attacks made against you. After
Yes.
that, it is Eris.
Okay. So is this person who is holding us up, is he attractive?
You
See,
You can't tell because he's looking through eye holes in canvas.
it's got a. He's imagine paper bag over his head.
You know what?
Mhm.
I'm charming. Can I talk my way out of this? Let's see. I have charm person. Oh, I didn't pick my spells for the day.
Oh, well, that's right.
Pick
We should
'em.
have started that. But for this day, what spells did your character have prepared? Just pick 3 of the ones you know.
Oh god. Okay.
Charm person.
Well, charm person and expeditious retreat because.
And you choose one more.
Okay. And
Then you can use your spell slots to cast any of those 3.
sleep.
Okay.
Nice one.
All right.
Everybody.
So you want
gets a
to
little
try
sleep.
and make this guy friendly?
Yeah. Let's try and seduce this bro into like putting that thing down.
Okay.
Just long enough to get out of here.
So you
Jeez.
want to cast Charm Person on this figure?
Yeah.
All right. What's your spell save DC?
12.
All right. He has to roll a Wisdom saving throw against that. This bandit. And your target shoulders slacken, and he puts the. And you see him for the moment relax his grip on the crossbow, as his eyes beneath the canvas kind of go soft, looking at you, as you just wait, as you perhaps just do that flirtatious action, tinged with supernatural energy.
Great.
The both of you recognize that she has clearly cast a spell of some kind. And
It's not our turn yet.
Yeah.
All right.
so the one pointing the crossbow at you is charmed. He is. A charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects.
Charmer.
The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. So you've charmed this figure,
Cool.
and he is not hostile towards you at this point.
Yes.
After which, it is the thieves' turn. And he points his crossbow away from you and points at you cowering under the desk and says, orders rather loudly
Get
this time,
up!
and says, get up, hands up. And then says,
Actually, I think that was an accurate character interaction. What? Get up. Exactly.
and he
Okay.
gestures again as the 3 thieves behind the counter continue pilfering. Except one of the group, just looks over to see what's going on because it's taking so long. So after that, he's just threatened again until he's got everyone with their hands up. But he's not pointing at you because, hey, we're buddies. He thinks you're his buddy. After that, the dwarf.
Please don't die.
Oh.
Please get up.
Continues to bleed, groaning. After which, top the order with Embron.
Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know. I can't believe
Skills
that.
you got.
What?
Right, you don't have skills. You don't have the.
Oh, rude.
What?
The what?
What are your weapons?
She does have.
I have a bunch of weapons, but I know that he's pointing the damn
Well, he's pointing it at
crossbow.
her right now.
Yeah.
In
her
our
hands
general
are
direct,
up.
but still, like he can turn on me
It's true.
It's true. He could easily just go.
after I'm done yelling at her, which takes like no time. Which I do, by the way.
You yelled at her? Okay.
Yeah, get up.
Ah.
This is atrocious. Do you wanna?
I mean,
Do you wanna?
no. I mean,
Just looking at
you're
your skill
you're
bar.
well learned. What useful bulk skills have you acquired?
None for this situation. What the hell? Like
You mean you didn't read
I didn't.
Dummy's Guide to Getting Health to Surviving a Whole Time?
Yeah, you know that's actually not in my library. So, no, I didn't read that one yet.
Dang. Do you have any useful, except totally useless knowledge that you could
Thanks.
start rambling at this person?
Thanks.
Or what if? Do you have stealth? Stuff.
There is nothing
Oh.
stopping you from darting out the door and taking cover and
No,
hiding.
he's not looking at me,
He doesn't mean.
but I'm looking at him. Can I
Yeah.
use silent speech? Can I just be like, put the crossbow down, put the crossbow down?
Yes, you can. And you can make either an intimidation or a persuasion check. Both of which, because I believe you're not proficient, will be pure charisma checks. But because you're doing it in a spooky way in his head, you'll have advantage on the roll.
Okay.
Which means you roll
Twice,
2d20
and I take the
use the
higher.
better result.
Right. Okay, so let's do that.
Okay?
15
Plus your charisma modifier.
or 5 plus charisma 0, so 15.
15. He is rather intimidated by that.
Oh my god.
And doesn't know where this voice came from. He's never heard this voice before. At least hasn't heard it like this. And his eyes dart around, confused. And he is frightened. And that was your
Awesome.
action and your turn.
Cool.
Which means he is hesitant and his aim is now shaky. After which, it's Gita.
I hope you've
Okay.
gotten up.
Well, it's your turn.
I'm under a table, so.
Yep.
I guess I get out from under the table with my hands up.
Okay.
Slowly. Let's see. He looks confused. I don't know what's happening because I can't hear it. But is it practical to use a minor illusion to maybe distract him? Like how I can hold it for what, 10 minutes?
You can hold a minor illusion for 10 minutes, and it's just
That's a
something
long time.
Yeah.
quite visible. You can distract him by just causing an illusion to appear. You don't know what he's frightened of, but maybe you could just do some spooky stuff. Remember, you can create noises or create images.
Oh right, I can create noises. Where are his comrades at the moment? Are they around
Two
him,
of
or
them
they-
are back behind the desk, which there's now an open door through the iron bars to the area of the pawn shop behind. One of them is just watching whatever's going on because he's confused what's taking so long on getting the situation under control. But the other two are just knocking things into their sacks and ransacking. They have the blade, by the way.
God damn it.
Can I create an illusion of the sound of whatever the city guard is?
Why, yes, you can.
Yay! Yay! Okay, so I create the
Okay.
minor illusion of the sound of city guard, I don't know, sirens and or voices.
Or like the sound of clocks, klaxons, and
Yeah,
horses.
exactly.
The one pointing his crossbow bolt at the three of you hears that and turns back to his, well, two of you while he's ignoring you for the moment. Well,
Okay.
ignoring in a combat sense. Turns back to the three behind the counter and shouts, which
What?
you can hear as, it's the guard.
That's not enough syllables. Burr, 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 versus it's
I
the
was-
guard.
It's the guard, you guys.
Okay.
There you go.
Something to the
It's the
effect
guard,
of,
you
he's
guys.
warning them that the guard is coming. At which point, we then go to Eris's turn. He's not looking at you, or any of you. His back is turned, and he looks like he is about to book.
Book?
Run.
No, I know, but a book?
Oh, stop.
Stop.
I think I'd like to use Shocking Grasp.
Just walk up behind him and use Shocking Grasp on him?
Yeah.
All right, you can do so, and I'm letting you know right now that underneath his outfit of canvas, he's wearing metal armor, so you have advantage on the attack roll. So please make a spell attack roll for the cantrip Shocking Grasp.
You gotta say the thing when you succeed.
Zip zap.
No. You
Not yet?
roll
You
twice.
roll
You roll
2d20
twice.
and use the better result.
Okay. That was what, 5?
Go, Erica.
And what's your spell attack bonus?
Wait, where's
Other page.
Spell attack bonus? I'm
No,
Attack bonus
4.
Total?
10.
You go
Dropped out of wizard school.
You sneak up behind him to try and taser hand him, but miss, but he's not paying attention. And his friends haven't turned to, two of his friends hasn't turned to look. One of them sees you miss with a statically full blue tingling zappy hand.
Oh, so useless.
Maybe you should have stayed in school.
After which point, it's the turn of the thieves.
Oh no.
Good job. Good job.
The thief behind you just simply says, "We gotta go," to the others. No. And the two of them who are just ransacking bolt out the hole in the side of the wall, while the one that was watching raises his crossbow and shoots at you.
No! I'm so squishy. I don't have
And as he shoots,
Oh.
this crossbow bolt misfires and the string snaps.
Please miss.
Twang! And just curls upward, having not launched the bolt at all.
Yay!
That's
You ro-
lucky.
You rolled a
Very
1.
lucky. Oh, wow.
Nice.
After which,
First crit fail.
while his friend is saying, confused that he tried to shoot in his general direction. And after which,
Really?
the dwarf continues bleeding.
Oh.
So useless.
Oh, shit. I'm so dumb.
After that, top the order
Can't do that yet.
with Embron.
Fuck, okay. So we got the one thief saying we gotta go. The other one's like, what the fuck?
Did the two leave?
Two of them
other two
left,
left.
yes.
Okay, so it's just
The
the
other
one
two
with
left.
the crossbow that went.
Yeah, the broken crossbow and charmed guy. But wait, the one
The
who's not
charmed-
charmed is still paying attention to
Yes.
Eris? Okay,
Wait, sorry. How many were in the store?
There were 4.
there
now
were 4,
there's
now there are 2.
There was 3. Okay,
No, there were 2 looting.
Okay.
God, I don't know.
Well, they're both off guard, so maybe we can do. Like,
Maybe I can just run away. 'Cause do you say I had brave as a racial thing? Because I don't think that applies.
Brave is a racial trait of halflings.
Fuck. I'm bad at that.
Be a bad halfling.
I'm a quarterling.
Well,
Like,
one's back is turned, one's struggling with a weapon, and definitely seems to be willing to shoot
Okay,
people and
okay.
civilians.
All right. So maybe I'll get my shit together and try to shoot back. Can I do that?
All right. Do you want to shoot the one that shot or shoot the one whose back is turned?
Shoot the one with the broken weapon.
Go for it. Roll your attack roll.
Oh my gosh, please get him.
9
Plus.
plus what?
Is it 9 plus anything? Or?
It's plus your attack bonus with the weapon. So you pull out your bow, knock an arrow, and let fly.
Where am I looking?
Yeah,
Center of your
Oh,
hit.
okay. Oh, plus 5 is 14.
That is a hit.
Hey!
Please roll 1d8 and add 3 to it for your damage.
Yay!
Aw, 5.
5 total?
Yeah.
All right. He takes the arrow in the chest, but still standing. He does not look happy.
Rude. You can just die already, dude.
And you still have a move action. I don't think you can do anything as a bonus action right now.
Move action. So what can I?
Well, you can use your 25 feet of movement to reposition yourself in the room.
Okay, bye. Shoo.
You're
Out
going
the door.
Out the
So
door?
rude.
Yeah.
Shoot an arrow and charge out the door. You are now in the street outside the pawn shop.
How far? Because you said 25 feet.
Yeah,
and I was near the door,
Yeah,
so I'm
5
like
feet, you're
halfway
20 feet,
down
you're
the
like-
block.
Yeah.
You're past the alley.
Yeah. Well, wait.
Or you're going the
So
opposite way.
the shop opens into the alley?
No, the shop opens into the street and
Yeah.
you're past the mouth of the alley.
Okay. if the alley is here and the shop is here, am I running this way or am I running this way?
Well, if you go left or right, we go out of the shop.
Oh no!
Alley is to the right. The alley that you know they're running out of is to the right.
Well, you want to avoid everything, so you probably want to go
Yeah,
left, right?
I'm gonna go.
Okay, you head to the left, and you head 20 feet down,
Okay.
past the wall of the shop. After which, it is Gita.
So one guy's still standing, right?
One guy's still standing. One guy,
How's your back?
well, one guy has his back to you and is looking at his friend with an arrow in his chest, like what the hell. And one guy's looking down at the arrow in his chest, going, what the hell?
So they're both still distracted, right?
They're both still distracted.
I want to try something. Let's see. One second. I don't want to use a weapon yet. Can't really get instruments. What about... What's Vicious Mockery again?
You
heard of
insult
my puns.
someone, and they have to save against taking damage from your mockery.
Your puns literally hurt them.
Oh god, I love that.
So there's a dude with an arrow in his chest.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you have to comment on it.
I'm thinking of one. I'm thinking of a couple, but they're all like overused. Let me think about this.
Okay, take a moment.
Yeah.
We'll turn to the spell. So I know this.
Okay.
And what's your spell save DC? Spell page.
Second page.
Top of the page.
12. 12.
12.
So
Okay.
what do I need to do?
You just need to tell me that you're using Vicious Mockery on. No. I will roll his save.
I'm using Vicious Mockery.
All right.
And I say, looks like you really got the shaft this time.
So I'm going to roll his save.
I'm down the street and that hurt.
Okay. What, you heard it?
Maybe I did.
And he is going to fail in that roll and take 1d4 points of psychic damage. Please roll a 4-sided die and tell me the total.
Just one?
Yeah.
Nice.
3. Pretty good.
3 plus.
He sees...
3 plus something?
No, not plus anything, because it's that particular cantrip.
Oh.
He seizes at your bad pun, clutching one head,
It's all I've
And
ever
is-
wanted.
Touching one head?
clutching his head with one hand.
Okay.
I am sorry. Thank you for catching
That's a different kind of scare.
Turns out, as his canvas calls away, there were 2 heads. No, there's not 2 heads.
Oh, dude.
How do you tell it's stupid o'clock? After which, it's Eris's turn.
Well, I have fog cloud. Can I create some cover?
Ninja vanish.
So we can bounce.
Yes, you can fill the entire space with fog, obscuring everyone's vision.
Why the heck didn't I do that first?
No.
You
Okay.
forgot you had it.
Well, they're disabled
Because
now,
you didn't
so-
prepare it.
Yeah.
You said expeditious retreat, charm person,
No,
and sleep.
it's right. You said you had those 3 spells prepared. Charm
Right.
person.
I don't have.
Ain't no cheating here.
Keep it.
Dang.
Keep a little separate list of which
Well,
spells
the
prepare each
cantrips
day.
you don't have to use anything for.
Yeah, the cantrips are just there all the time.
Is there anything in the cantrips you can use? Or you can still use one of the other ones that you chose.
Go for shock and grasp again.
You can still do sleep, right?
No.
No?
Oh, she didn't
Yeah,
prepare.
she
Oh,
chose- that was-
oh,
yeah,
you,
she
you
chose
can. Yeah,
sleep.
you can still do sleep.
All right, let's put this charmed boy to sleep.
Okay, you're going to cast sleep.
Zap zap.
Let me just pull that
zap
up real
doesn't
quick.
I'm sorry, zip zap.
Next
that's
session we will
shock and
have
grasp.
cards.
Well, you can still take a nap.
Take a nap.
Take a nap.
Yeah, but
that's
it
relevant.
doesn't have
All
this
right.
little rise.
What's your spell save DC?
My
12.
what?
Well, the 12.
12.
All right, rolling both of their saves, and that's sleep targets. The spell sends a creature into a magic slumber. Well, actually, I'll ask you to roll 5 8-sided dice.
Whoa.
And creatures within 20 feet of a point of your choosing with a range are affected in ascending order of their hit points. So basically,
That's
if you roll more
4.
hit points than they have, then they're asleep.
Okay.
Okay.
How many do they have? How many hit points?
You don't know.
Oh, sorry, right,
Oh.
DM.
So you're rolling 5 8-sided dice to see what number you get.
All right.
we adding these?
Yep, add them all
10,
together.
26.
Oh, 26?
26. 7 and 3, 5 and 5, plus 6. Guys, come on.
Obviously.
Well,
I didn't even look.
you cast that spell, and the fellow with the arrow in him, his eyes roll to the back of his head and he collapses on the ground. The guy who's standing in front of you just kind of falls to his knees and falls flat on his face.
Aw, poor guy.
Pat pat. There.
Dwarf is also asleep now.
Well, the dwarf is not conscious anyway, so he's not a target of
But
this.
now he's definitely sleeping.
And it's the turn of the sleepers,
The sleepers?
who can't do anything.
Because they're asleep.
But outside, amid the state of emergency, Embron, you notice as you're running to the left, with your passive perception, you notice that the two figures who had escaped out the hole in the wall are now on the rooftops and running along them. A little bit behind where you would be, just because you're...
Right.
Because, they had to climb up and get over.
Right.
And also you're moving slower than they are, considering they have, human height legs. La-ti-da, yes. You already shot one of their number. Do you continue to ignore them now that they have no way of immediately getting to you? Well, they do have crossbows.
I mean, do they see me down can they see me down in the street?
Well, they're not. It's getting, when you came into the place, it was like kind
dusk,
of sunset.
right?
Now it's dark out. And they perhaps can't see you very well.
But I can't see either, because if it's getting dark...
Well, you can still see them on the roof, but they haven't noticed you. You're not
Okay.
someone they care about because you're not in their way and they're not dealing with someone inside the place.
Oh, question.
Yes.
Did they take the sword?
Yeah,
Yes, they did.
they took it.
Oh. Who has it?
One of those two,
Well,
obviously.
yeah, because they were the ones looting.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Unless it was the third guy who grabbed it, because we don't know.
I
But
don't think so.
Mike just said they have it.
Okay, sorry.
So
One of them has it.
One of them definitely has it. One of
Though
the
you couldn't
people on
tell
the
them
rooftop
apart.
definitely has it.
Yes.
okay.
Oof.
Do I know that, or do I just see that the sword was gone?
You saw them. You saw these two guys who were shoving things into bags. Shove the sword into one of the bags.
Okay, so
With
I know one of them definitely has it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna. All right. Well,
I'm gonna shoot him.
I don't like this. All right. This is not in my comfort
Violence.
zone. I don't like this. Do I roll now?
Yes.
Oh God.
Roll a 20-sided die and add your attack
God.
bonus.
Oh, that's a miss.
What was it?
3 plus. Wait, attack bonus is
Where's attack?
where?
In the center
oh,
box.
5 is 8.
Wait.
Yeah, here.
You shoot an arrow
Okay.
and miss.
Yeah, hella miss. They're running.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Not good at this ranger thing yet.
And the two bandits halt in their tracks
Yeah.
to see that they've been shot at as the arrow whizzes by ahead of them.
Oh, no.
After which, it is Gita's turn. Back inside, as
damn.
those two guys have just collapsed.
They just collapsed. Cool. Let's see.
Oh wait, question.
Yes.
Did I run 20 feet in a straight direction, or did I like zigzag through?
Through the street?
Yeah.
Well, that's up to you.
Are there like buildings? Oh God.
Well,
okay.
the street is just a street with some
I know,
carts
but
and
like,
things.
are there like,
Obstacles?
Not,
are the streets like offset that I could do like zoop, zoop down one of the streets that don't line up, or like if it's a T?
you can run down some T's and stuff.
Okay. You know what? I'm thinking. Where am I in relation to my targets? Because I could be like running along the sides of the buildings in the street and just like have shot on a severe
They are-
angle.
Yeah.
They are 30 feet. They are 30 feet up,
Wow.
and
30
you
feet up?
on the top of the building.
Dang.
No, wait, no, 15 feet up.
Okay,
Single story.
that makes more sense.
They're 15 feet up, and you are 20 feet over from them.
No, I'm 20 feet away from the entrance to the shop.
Yeah, 20 feet away from the entrance to the shop. So
But that could be like, depending on which direction I run
Yeah.
in, that's why I'm asking.
you're
Physics problem.
Yes, it is.
they're on a diagonal away from you, another 15 feet.
Okay.
So like, fucking isosceles. trying
Okay,
to
Yeah.
so let's see.
understand.
15 squared plus 15 squared.
Gita, it's your turn.
You're making fun of me?
I'm actually kind of trying to figure out how long it would be. But anyway, I'm trying to think, because I have...
I have dot paper. What am I doing?
How many spells would I have prepared this morning?
You don't prepare spells. You can cast any spells known with the spell slots you have.
Frickin' sweet.
That's what bards get. You can have fewer
Nice.
spells known, but
Okay.
you can use them at will.
Wait, why were you in the store to begin with? What were you looking for?
Excuse me.
Rude.
I was trying to pawn something. I didn't even get to that point, because I was really interrupted. I still have this doorknob
explosions.
that I don't know what to do with.
Are you so gentle and good? You go to the dude like I got
Well, I was
Because there's a
thinking
bleeding
if I
meter.
should use- I have cure wounds, so that's what I was thinking of doing.
You can do that.
Sorry.
Rude. I'm deciding if I'm too cowardly to go towards him. But
Are you
they're
afraid
all
of blood?
gone. What?
Are you afraid of blood? Or are you okay with it?
Real life? Yes. But no, I think I'm probably don't care too much about blood as long as it's not like crazy. He's not like spurting blood.
No.
No blood fountains.
Yeah, no
Okay.
blood fountains, but I can reach him, right?
Yeah, easily.
Okay, then I try to creep up cautiously and try to cure wounds.
All right, roll an 8-sided die. And mark that
I
you've spent a
take it
spell
back.
slot. And also pass my 8-sider back. Thank you much.
Wait, let's see. Just one 8-sided?
Yep.
Good luck.
Well,
3.
that's still hit points.
Sweet.
And groggily, he wakes up.
Yay!
Oh, me head.
Oh,
The
his hat!
shop, he says as he sees the state of things, in shock. What happened?
Wait, what did Erica do?
Took his hat.
Oh, no, sorry. My mistake.
After which,
Disregard that.
it is Eris's turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Did he notice that I took his hat?
He,
Are you wearing his hat? Please tell me you are.
he has not noticed.
I'm wearing his hat.
Wait, on top of your like horns?
Where did I put my hat?
Isn't it?
Oh, it's on the floor.
Okay.
He has not. At the moment, he's not noticed his hat, but he has noticed the thief on the ground beside him, unconscious. As he gets a better picture and idea of what happens, noticing the gaping hole in his shop and this burlap sack in the man's hand.
Well, none of this has anything to do with me.
God damn, y'all selfish.
So I'm out.
So you leave,
Yeah, I run out.
you run out of the shop, and you see the halfling woman from before with a bow pointed into the air as you see those other two guys who were with the two guys you put to sleep now on a rooftop drawing their crossbows.
I don't want it.
You do have one remaining sleep.
What?
You do have one remaining
Oh my
spell slot that
gosh.
you can use for sleep. Or fog cloud that you can just drop on them up there.
I mean, if
No,
nobody
she hasn't
did
prepared fog cloud.
Oh, yeah, she didn't prepare. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. I still have sleep.
No, wait, no, you cast Charm Person. You've used up
Yeah.
both your spell slots.
Yeah,
Oh
You
no.
too?
yeah.
Oh.
Dang.
So what did she
Baby
cast?
wizard.
Sleep
And fog,
Charm person.
Charm person.
Right.
Well, I still have my cantrips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
Well, I mean, if I stop these dudes, I can probably just like jack whatever they got.
Yeah, man.
And they got. You saw them steal a lot of stuff.
Yeah. That would like fund some fancy meals.
Quite so.
I'm gonna go some cantrips on these dudes.
What do you have?
I have friends.
Makes one friendly for you for 1 minute, then they turn hostile when the spell
I'll
ends.
be there for you.
I'll be there for you too.
Prestidigitation.
Not a combat applicable spell.
Okay, and shocking grasp. They're too far. I
Oh,
can't.
but you have one more
I have
spell.
Vicious mockery.
Yeah, you can. You know that hurts people's minds. You have no ranged cantrips at this time,
Okay.
but you can insult them at range.
Oi, your mom is a cow.
All right, what's your intelligence bonus?
Oh my
that's
God.
keyed off of your intelligence, I believe. No, it's created off your charisma. It's your charisma.
Charisma.
Two.
What's your charisma?
Okay. It's 14.
14.
2 modifier.
So 2 plus 2 plus 8 is 12. They have to beat a 12 saving throw. The one that you hit. And he fails. And
Nice.
you can roll a d4 of psychic damage against him.
It's the triangle.
Come on.
Wait, so
One. Yeah, it's, that
One.
one is, you read the bottom.
Okay.
Well, he is aware that someone has done something and you've insulted him. And he looks at you, upset.
You're not having good luck with your rolls
Bad
today.
day.
After which, it
You
is...
got a nice hat.
After which, it is the turn of the thieves. The two in the shop will continue to slumber.
Sweet.
How long do they sleep?
Yeah.
They will be asleep for... and falls unconscious until the spell ends, which is 1 minute, or the sleeper takes any damage.
Oh, okay.
So that's like 10 rounds of combat.
Right.
Yeah.
Question though, The cure wounds can wake the dwarf up from sleep,
Well, he wasn't sleeping. He was injured to the point of being unconscious.
so that didn't affect him.
The spell of sleep did not affect him because
He was
he had no hit points left.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know how this works.
All right. So the two thieves on the rooftops, seeing as they've been shot at and insulted, take out their crossbows and take pot shots at the halfling and the tiefling.
Okay.
First attack against the tiefling
Ling ling.
is a 10. What's your armor class?
10.
You take 2 points of damage as a crossbow bolt catches you in the shoulder.
No, I only have 7
Please mark damage
Oh
taken.
God. Wait, how many did you take?
There's a little box underneath,
temporary hit points.
or just your current. Well, there's a spot on your hit point chart for current. Oh, the top left or the top up there is where you hold your total hit points. So you put the 7 up there, and then you start counting down with this number.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Little bit of-
Okay, up here it says hit point maximum.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's where we write
Okay.
the max hit.
So your max hit points are 7, and you've just taken 2 points of damage.
Damn it, I'm not trying to die today.
And then the other one takes a pot shot at the halfling one. What's your armor class?
14.
14.
God.
Miss.
Yay!
As the bolt strikes the cobblestones beside you.
Shit.
After that, it's the dwarf who takes up a hammer he had under the desk.
Nice.
And successfully brings it down on the head of the sleeping man.
Ooh, which
God
one?
damn it.
The one behind the desk. The one that was still back there who shot with the crossbow earlier.
Attempted to shoot with the crossbow earlier.
In anger at when he realizes, wait, me hat! Ah! And slams his hammer on the thieves, into the thief.
Unfortunate.
This mother.
It would wake him up if it didn't.
fucking kill him.
Oh no, I will. Well, you're not there, but he's still alive. He's just in the negatives.
Oof.
He's just, dying like the dwarf was.
Explain that, please.
Okay, well, the negatives mean you've gone beneath your hit point total. You've taken damage greater than your hit point total.
Right.
You're now dying. You're now bleeding out.
How are you not already? How
Well,
much do you
if
have
you-
to lose
if you-
to die?
If you take a number of hit points, if the number of hit points you have left, and you take enough hit points to equal negative your hit point maximum, you die outright. Otherwise, you're bleeding, and you get to make death saving
Okay,
throws to
okay,
either
okay.
stabilize or die.
Okay, that would have been important to know beforehand. 'cause
Now you do.
That's a little scary, like negative hit points.
Yeah.
Death and dying.
Oh, gotcha.
Learning experiences. But
Gotcha.
that's what the dwarf does as he hammers the one sleeper to make sure he stays conked out because he's pissed and his shop's been blown up. And then it's
his
top of
hat
the
is
order with Emron.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
We got the two guys up on the roof.
Have take shot at you. One shot that woman and one
The
shot
other
at you
missed
but missed.
me.
Isn't one of them out of commission now because of Erica's spell?
No, it
No, he
didn't
was
take
just
him out
like,
of commission.
the
Just
fuck?
Oh, okay.
though I will note, for failing the spell, he will have disadvantage on the next attack roll he makes.
Okay.
Okay. The one that shot at me. Oh God, I don't. What can I do? I'm distracted by hunger currently. Venus is.
Okay.
Try the longbow again? Or
This is not, the longbow is not working.
Clearly
I'm
not,
not
but-
good at the ranging yet.
wait, what about? Do you have any spells?
Not yet.
No. Sorry, I keep forgetting. All right. Okay. Sorry. Sorry.
I haven't even touched that page.
Throw your dagger.
I
No, but it's just like a 1.
guess I'd have to retrieve that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
can't get that.
not a boomerang. I've shot twice. I should mark that down. I don't know. I really just want to hide.
There is a cart you can take cover in to avoid continuing fire.
Let's do that.
Okay,
There's a
you
cart
take
in the
cover
street?
behind the cart. You just move your
Behind?
space. Yeah, you just move behind where the cart is, and you have a obstructing wall between you and your target,
Okay. Yeah.
so they cannot continue to target you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, you do that and take no further action. Afterwards, back in the shop, it's Gita.
So the dwarf just slammed that guy in the head with a hammer, right?
Yep, that's right.
That's terrifying, so I scream again and run out of the shop.
You scream again and run out of the shop, and you see that woman from before wearing the dwarf's hat with a crossbow bolt in her shoulder, and you see the halfling standing behind a cart, and you see two guys up on the roof with crossbows pointed down.
What the hell happened here?
yeah, like what the shit? I haven't gone that long.
Donald Glover in Community, just walking in with the pizza.
Okay,
Sorry.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For my spell slots, can I do? I have 3 spell slots. You said, right?
You have 3 spells
for the
known,
day?
and you have 2 spells per day.
Or 2 spells per day.
What's it say in the
Okay.
I
I
believe
thought it was
so.
3 for some reason.
Okay.
All right. No, you said 2. I don't know why.
I'm just
okay.
checking.
What does mending do?
Mending repairs small objects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I figured if we need to, mend, you can like mend a chain or like fix armor or something.
And the like.
Let's see.
You also have vicious mockery and insult his
I do.
mother.
That's what I did before. I used vicious mockery before, right?
You used minor illusion before.
I did, but I think the minor illusion's still going on.
Yeah, but I mean, what use
Now
does
it's
it have
doing
now?
Nothing. Oh, can I stop this illusion and do another one? Or do I
Yes,
need
you
to-
can.
Okay, well.
You can make the physical illusion of something in a 5-foot cube. What do you make?
Wait, the size is a 5-foot cube?
The size of the illusion fills a 5-foot cube.
Okay.
Is the guy still running on top?
Yeah, there are 2. Well, no, they're both. There's
No.
2 of them, and they're both stopped and have crossbows pointed down.
Oh, okay. Let me think. Can I take cover and also do vicious mockery?
Yes, you can.
Is the cart the closest thing for cover, or is it
More or
cover?
less.
You again.
Y'all just gonna leave me out here?
I can't.
I can't heal you.
We have to We have to defeat them first.
We have to survive
Yeah.
in order to help
I'm
you.
working on it. All right.
Man, you can't like,
And I already used my cure wounds for the day. So.
you can't like magic up some like fake scary birds to like peck their eyeballs out and like they can drop their stuff.
No, I don't know if
They
that's actually
fight
going to make them drop
Well-
it, though, is the
I don't
problem.
You can do a fake scary bird, but if they interact with it, they'll realize it's an illusion.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
exactly.
it might scare them enough to make them perhaps flee.
You don't want them to do that.
How much damage does Vicious Mockery do again?
D4
1d4.
damage.
What about Dissonant Whispers?
Dissonant Whispers does
Spell.
Yeah. But
A lot.
I have a
lot.
lot. Okay. Can I, is that a spell I can do to both of them at the same time?
let me just check the spell real quick for you.
Okay.
And next game we will have, next filming date we will have spell cards for all of our players. Dissonant
For
Whisper.
both of y'all, because it's gonna be a while.
We'll work on it.
Here we go. 1 action, 60 feet. You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction. If available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't need to move away.
Can I use a Vicious Mockery on more than one person?
No, but it's a single target at a time.
Damn it. I don't have any ranged weapons.
But Dissonant Whispers is fairly powerful.
Yeah.
And,
it's
you
not my
know-
spell slot.
Moving its full move away from you,
Yeah.
it might make it walk off the roof.
Oh,
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but
Oh, no,
there's
that's
2
not
of
gonna
them
work.
now.
Yeah, but you
no,
will
no,
take
it's like
one
something
out of the
else.
equation.
How many actions do I have? Can I do a
You
minor
have-
illusion and?
Minor Illusion is an action, I believe.
Yeah, it's a,
You only have 1 action and 1 bonus action per turn.
Okay. All right. I will try Dissonant Whispers then.
All right, let me roll his saving throw. That's a 1.
ooh.
Please roll.
3d6. right?
Yep.
It's gonna be hard to get lower than that, but. Thank you. I can just roll this 3 times. Or.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Eventually,
Big
we'll
money.
get there. 15.
Whoa.
15 damage.
Hey, yeah, sorry, that was a 5.
Well, he doesn't get to walk away and fall off the roof. He just kind of collapses and rolls off the roof into the street.
Nice.
Was that the one that was vicious mockery by her, or no? Let's say the fresh one. Just kind of collapses because that is
the one that missed
enough.
me.
The one that missed
shooting you.
Just kind of collapses and rolls into the street with a heavy thud. His sack beside him. After which, it is Eris.
Nabbing that. Okay. Can I kick this asshole?
Damn.
You can, as an action, kick this asshole.
Can I kick this asshole and also look in the bag?
You can freely interact with the bag to look inside at stuff.
Let me kick him first.
You kick him.
Because this hurts. Okay.
You
He's not
kick
the one
him,
that shot you,
and
though.
he groans in pain. It's not the one that shot you, but you kick him and he groans in pain.
He did just fall 15 feet.
Yeah.
They're all friends, whatever.
After which, you look in the bag, and it is full of, hey, the music box you sold. Hey,
What a coincidence.
and several other and assorted other items that look like metal dishware, some mining tools, just little tiny hammers.
Pretty
A small,
sword.
you don't see any swords in there, but you do see like small art objects, children's toys, just things that were pawned. You see some stuff that might be of value to like another pawn shop.
Give me all the values.
Just taking the bag or taking the valuables out of the bag.
Valuables.
Well, you know the music box is valuable, so you
Stick my thing back.
take it back. You grab a few children's toys, just right assorted pawned items, and artisans' tools, mining tools, crafting tools, like valuable things you might be able to hawk later, and we'll come back to that in a bit. And that is your movement, your action, and your interaction. After that, it's the turn of the thieves.
Stuck in my head.
And rolling the saving throw for the thief on the ground in front of you. He has rolled a 20 and awakens with one hit point,
Damn.
God damn.
and sees you hovering over him, and reaches up to try and hit you with a fist.
Gosh dang it.
Because he's dropped his sword. Oh, there's also a scimitar on the ground that you could take if you wanted. It's a weapon, you can sell that.
Yeah, man, take it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. He goes to punch you.
Should have kicked him harder.
You're one hit point.
Why are you so useless?
And catches you across the face for 1 point of damage.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I really wish I hadn't used my cure wounds on
Dwarfy McDwarferson.
that unappreciative Dorothy McDorferson.
After which the other thief on the rooftop will take another shot at you. Actually, no. He's going to turn his attention to you because you just kicked his friend.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh
What
god
a
damn.
bad day.
But you got a sweetheart.
But I got sweet.
All right. That's a 10.
Wait. For bardic inspiration.
That doesn't
it's not
affect
your
your
turn
allies'
yet.
armor, and you have to set that up on your turn.
Ah, okay. That's what I was wondering. That's my question.
So, what's your armor class? 10?
Yep.
Oh god.
Please don't kill me.
Take 3 points of damage.
I have 1 point left.
Oh no.
As another crossbow bolt catches you, not in your shoulder, but closer toward the center of your chest.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
If y'all save me, I'll be your best friend. I'll lift you up so you can reach
After which-
sideways. Raise you up.
After which, the dwarf does something back in the shop, because there's still another guy there.
Right.
And then top the order with
God.
Embra.
Oh boy.
See, we're both fighting it.
Yeah, we're both hiding. I'm like, fucking you again. Jesus. This one's...
I'm dying.
No, not yet. You're not dying yet.
I'm hurting.
You're hurt. You're hurt bad.
God.
My abilities, like the silent speech, how many times can I use that?
That's unlimited.
really?
You can mentally speak to someone within 30 feet of you.
Dang it.
Right. But after, so...
It's
so
not
when-
an action to use. It just, you connect.
Right, but it has a distance.
Yes.
So when the guys shot at me and missed, they were 15 feet away, but then they moved. So how far are they, were they away now?
He hasn't moved yet. They're just kind of watching the street
I-
to see if people were shooting at them.
Oh, I thought you said that
I didn't say they moved. One of them fell.
No, oh, I thought it was before that. Okay, so he's definitely within 30 feet. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
The one aiming for Eris
Yeah?
hears someone telling him not to do that.
Don't do that.
Don't
do that.
All right.
Don't shoot her.
do it, bro.
Don't shoot her.
Roll a
Actually, shoot your friend.
That's a good one.
That's terrible.
Roll a deception check. So straight charisma, but because he's spooked by this, roll it with advantage.
Ooh. So what does that mean?
I
So you
can't
roll
tell what that
twice,
is.
use the
No, I
better
can't
roll.
tell what that is.
you gotta do it
It landed in the. We're not using that one. 12
12.
plus charisma 0.
Okay.
The other one was between 12 and 11 anyway.
Yeah.
Well, he's just confused by this, so we'll get back to him on his turn.
It's an intrusive thought. Shoot your friend.
After that, it's Gita.
I'm gonna use vicious mockery.
Okay, what do you shout at this guy again?
Okay, give me a minute. I gotta think something good. Oh god, don't look at me with those expectations. I gotta think about
You
it.
might want to start keeping a short list. Or think of them when it's not your turn of things that might be
Can I
useful.
have snacks? I'm freaking
Oh,
starving. Like, I hear my stomach now.
Here.
Thank you.
Um,
Sorry, I'm gonna crunch into the microphone.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
I have a good one.
Awkward silence.
I'm trying to think of a good one.
Just say something. It doesn't have to be
Or
good.
just shout at him coarsely.
No.
Or you're a terrible shot.
If only your intelligence was as high as you are right now.
That works.
Your mother was a
And your
hamster.
father smells builder.
There you go.
Roll a d4, please.
Alright. Big money, come on. 2.
2.
All right. But the one who shot Erica or the one who punched Erica?
The one who's awake right now.
The one who woke up
one
and,
who
and
shot
punched
at
her?
Erica.
Oh
Or-
shit, I forgot there's another one.
So which one was it?
No, the one who fell shot at me.
Yeah. No.
But now he's up and awake, even though he fell,
Right.
and he got up from the ground and like still half on the ground. He punched Erica in the face. Who do you hit with that vicious mockery?
Is the one that's confused up on the roof right now?
Up on the roof right now. But the one who just punched Erica looks like a stiff wind could knock him out.
That guy.
He is back down. Then again, his intelligence was already very low, wasn't it?
Yep.
All right. After that, it's Eris. The guy who punched you has just eyes just crossed, and you see he fell back down again as a little bit of blood came out his nose. And there's still a guy up there who has shot you twice,
Oh gosh.
and you have a sack of loot. What do you do?
I need to get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
Well, if you run straight down the street, he's still going to have a line on you with his crossbow.
Oh no.
But
There's a lot of room behind this cart. Just
there is a cart in the street.
Can I just lie down behind this cart?
I need a nap right now.
I need a rest.
nap queen.
Yep. You just want to dash behind the cart and just fall prone?
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys are hiding, the one from inside the shop has run around to the cart and just kind of flattens herself so she might not get shot.
What is happening? What? Stop following.
After which, it's the thief's, and she's carrying one of the thieves' sacks.
Yeah.
And after which, it's the thieves' turn.
Oh no.
And as you're hiding behind the cart, the three of you, nothing happens. And at which point, after which, the dwarf steps out of his shop, hammer across his shoulder, looking left, looking right,
Oh no.
sees the
God.
guy,
Oh, no.
doesn't see the three of
No.
you,
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
see the three of you because you're hiding behind the cart,
Okay.
charges at the guy who's lying in the street, goes up,
Oh god.
kicks him over, and just starts shouting at the unconscious man.
Okay.
Shouting.
Yep, just shouting at an unconscious man while the three of you are hiding behind a cart.
Because I was afraid that he was gonna see
Your hat.
the
His
hat
hat.
and the sack of stuff.
I need to bolt.
You've
You've
After-
already been bolted twice.
After which, it's top the order with Embrin.
Oh god. Behind this cart. How big is this cart? Are we like comfortably behind there, or are we?
Well,
just,
we're
like-
little.
You're comfortable. She has to crouch, but
Okay.
she's flat on the ground, so it's okay.
All right.
But you know, it's a cart in a street.
Yep.
It's got wheels.
Sure does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that.
You could tell these two a plan, perhaps, to continue to move without being noticed.
I could do that.
That's an idea. Or you guys could see that trying to sneak away while the dwarf is distracted.
It's not the dwarf I'm worried about.
I'm worried about.
Well, for whatever
You
reason,
are.
for whatever reason, no arrows impacted against. You didn't hear any arrow fire or crossbow bolts stuck against anything while you were hiding last time. It could have happened.
That's weird.
But as you contemplate that, we'll let you contemplate that for a moment longer while all of you can take a short break to use the restrooms and grab a snack. This episode was going to be an hour and a half, then an hour, but instead we're doing a special long 2-hour episode. Join us for the last quarter of today's show when we come back.
The pilot.
And we're back with Dansu Dragons. When last we left our intrepid party of adventurers, they had taken cover behind a wagon in the middle of a shootout. But now, there's no more shooting, but there's the sound of a dwarf shouting at a man on the ground. Whose turn did we leave off with?
Not mine.
Gita, it was your turn, I believe. Or no, wait, you were deciding what to do, so you were just trying to figure out ideas.
Yeah, I didn't do that one.
Oh, right. What? Okay, what did she do?
Well, you could push the cart to hide yourselves while you're moving away from this fracas. You could peek around and see what's going on outside the cart.
I probably would do that because we weren't shot.
Yeah, you weren't shot. Well, you look out.
So what the heck's going on?
You don't see the guy on the roof anymore, and you just see the dwarf shaking the guy on the ground, asking him where the hell his damn hat is.
Looks back over shoulder. It's on backwards.
She's clearly wearing the hat the dwarf was wearing earlier. And she has one of the sacks those guys had.
I hope I'm not pulling your hair.
No.
Look, I found it.
Wait, do you show it?
You grab the hat off her, walk out, and you say, "Look, I found it," and we're out of combat rounds now. And the dwarf looks up and says, "Me hat! Me mom made this hat," he says, and walks over to you, lifts you up in a great big hug, and swings you a bit.
All sorts of love today.
Yay!
Embracing.
"Thank you, lass, for giving me back me mom's hat," he says, and puts it snugly on his head. "What happened to all ye?"
He still hasn't seen us, right?
No, you're still behind the cart.
Can I not speak because he's hugging me so tight?
Oh, he's put you down.
Oh. But I'm a little stunned then because he just hugged the life out of me. Well, not literally.
Be all right? You did successfully shoot someone, right? Out of character? Just asking again?
Did I?
You did hit someone with an
Yeah,
axe.
I hit one of the dudes.
Inside the shop?
No, outside, wasn't it? No,
No,
inside.
yeah.
Inside. See, I don't.
He looks
I don't
down
even
at the
remember.
bow. It's still in your other hand.
Oh.
"Thank you for trying to save me shop and me life."
Trying.
Or thank you for helping trying to save. Well, his shop is still blown up.
Yeah,
and a lot of
yeah,
stuff is
yeah.
still missing.
Trying to help.
Sure.
But
Yes.
thank you most for getting back the hat. It means a lot to me.
Nods dumbly at.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much. You know what? You sit tight, get your head on straight. I'm gonna see if I can flag down the watchmen if they're not already on the way.
What's taking him so long?
Did you see which way?
Oh, I did stop
You do hear distant whistling now.
Well, we heard it before, but I'm hearing it again, right?
Yeah, but no, you heard a different whistle. This is like, yeah, you heard tweeting whistles.
Yeah.
But you hear it, it's starting to close in on the area. He's going to go flag someone down for help.
Wait, but I wouldn't have any idea of knowing who it is. I wouldn't know if it's the watch or if they had more friends somewhere else.
Yeah, but who'd be blowing whistles in the early evening in large numbers?
Oh, large numbers. Okay.
Yeah, whistles, like watch whistles.
Yeah, no, I know.
Her.
I'm saying, saying whistlers.
Her band.
Did you?
My
did you?
band.
Oh, did he looks? Oh, did ye help take this man down? He points to the one that he was shaking on the ground.
Did I? No, it was.
And you two can do whatever you want at this point.
I don't want him to see
Wait.
me.
So how is this happening at a turn?
Oh, it's,
like.
combat is
talking to
ended.
you.
Combat's over.
Oh, okay. So it's just free action.
Yeah, you're just interacting.
Oh, okay.
Can I?
Oh, you stunned mute from the blast.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
probably.
I'll be right
Let's do
back, he
that.
says, and runs off in the direction of the whistling. On his, as fast as his dwarven legs can carry.
I feel.
With that, you are alone in the middle of the road. And
Awesome.
the three of you are alone in this space at the moment. And you are still two hiding behind. You were just hiding with a woman who's bleeding on the ground.
Yeah. Can
Laura,
we do something
There's
about that?
something I can heal her with, but I already used my healing spell.
you can use your healing spell more than once.
Wait, what? No, it's a spell. I already used it.
You have 2
wounds?
spells per day. You can use 2
Dissonant
spells.
Whisper.
I used
Spurs.
Dissonant Whisper.
Oh yeah, you did use Dissonant Whispers. Yeah.
See what you got?
You can make a
I don't know if I
medicine.
can use any of these.
You can make a medicine check to figure out how injured she is.
At the very least, use you have extra clothes here. You have a disguise kit and a costume. At the very least, if she's bleeding, stem that.
Oh. Okay, I guess I'll do a medicine check.
Okay,
while
roll it.
I rip off a piece of my
Garish
weird,
outfit.
ugly clothing and just try to staunch the blood.
I'm
Roll
about to
it.
lose my other
What do I
pinky
need to
nail.
roll?
D20 plus your medicine skill.
I don't have a medicine skill.
Are you trained in it?
Oh, no, I don't have a medicine skill.
Fateful die. This is the fateful die.
Okay, so what I need to do D20 plus this, right?
Yep, D20 plus that.
I do have a medicine skill, duh.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Or not great.
Erica, you're lying there bleeding and unhappy when someone tries to put bandages over the crossbow bolts still in your chest and shoulder. It hurts.
Only you assholes.
Sorry.
Also, to remind you, the watch whistles are closing in. Now, you're not completely disabled. You're just hurting a lot. But you can still move.
Yeah, I need a Midol. I need a fantasy Midol.
Where are we gonna meet the apothecary?
Oh, you in fact think, wait, there's someone injured there and who's apparently not being helped properly as you look back at the other two and see her trying to bandage over the crossbow bolts.
I'm supposed to be good at this.
You're struck.
I'm imagining the bolt just sticking up and the fabric just on top like this,
Shoving it
out of her shoulder.
Oh, God.
You are struck by the fact that you are aware there is a skilled apothecary and pharmacist in this city
That's good.
who might be able to help provide salves to ease the wounds of one who has been shot with multiple arrows.
Multiple.
Crossbow bolts.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Well, no, I'm hurting.
A lot. No thanks to you.
Is Erica okay?
Yeah, I wouldn't have been
Okay. Well, you just put a pen in your shoulder.
Sorry. Thank you for caring.
So, what did a lot of you do amid all of this?
Well, I'm apparently unsuccessfully continuing. Can I roll another for medicine? For
Yes, you
next
can.
time?
You can do so again
I
after
want
a
to try
moment.
it again. I'm sorry if I shove the bowl deeper into your shoulder.
I'm sorry.
Come on, big money.
4. Okay, we're not
6.
using this die again.
6.
It is cursed.
Oh, this is the curse
Wait,
die.
wait,
I
wait.
told you it was the fateful
God
die.
damn it! I thought you were kidding.
No.
6.
The bargain was made with everything on the table, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, because you're rolling against another person and not me, the curse holds true.
Oh my god.
I didn't think about it. I'm so sorry.
So,
This is the spookiest thing that's happened. I don't care about the weird voices I made people hear.
okay. So, you continue to see this shenanigan as,
What
okay,
are
I got it
you
right this time, I'll get it right this time, as the gnome is starting to seemingly to, now as she's
Maybe-
looping the bandage around her shoulder, kind of cutting across her neck
Maybe
and
stop
choking.
that. Maybe stop that a little bit.
Please stop her. She's
I'm
killing
sorry.
me.
I'm sorry.
Just stop.
Now here's the question. Do any of you want to be around when the watch shows up?
I just stole some stuff. I need to bounce.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's been said to the two of you as she is sitting right there, being half bandaged.
Can you guys carry me? Teamwork.
Are we Pikmin to you?
How
Like
much do I weigh?
How much do you weigh? That's something
Santa
you
Claus,
decide.
Santa Claus, how much do you weigh?
Realistically, is it possible for the two of us to pick her up
Probably
together?
not.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, you
How?
Well, we're both half her
You're-
size,
We're 40
right?
pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you? I'm saying you can. The two of you together can carry another a medium-sized person.
You know what we're hiding next to?
A cart.
Can we just can you hop me onto this thing and steal
Can I
it?
drag her?
Drag me.
Would both of us be required to use the cart? Like, can she move it on her own or not?
What are your strength scores? And half size.
Do not have the strength. Oh,
my
10.
God.
10. What's your strength score?
12.
Yeah. Either of you could drag the cart on your own
But like not easily, or
at half
You'd
speed.
struggle.
oh, half speed. Okay.
If you work together, full speed.
Right.
Oof.
But the dwarf
Is no longer observing you and no longer in the street.
no longer observing, but is pretty grateful to me. I want to,
Take advantage.
yeah.
Girl, get paid in that.
Exactly. Exactly.
But the other guy ran off. With the
And you don't know
No,
what's.
we
and you,
don't know where he is.
But you also
shoot.
you know that she has one of the bags you wanted to check.
Exactly.
Oh, and you don't know that it doesn't have the sword.
Right.
Spoilers.
Do you want to check the bag that she has?
Can I do that?
You
Like-
would.
Well, yeah.
because-
She's right there. It's there.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not going anywhere.
She's got one hit
all right.
point.
I'll take a look inside.
You don't see the sword.
No, I don't. As expected.
It's mine.
Oh, there's cute toys in here.
Okay, you can have one.
Like,
I don't need.
That sounds nice.
oh my god. Maybe you could take her. There's an apothecary here. Maybe you can get some real help. Take her away. a
Some
little.
real help.
Real
Yours
help.
is apparently no good.
I mean, that bolt does need to come out, and you're
Oh.
not.
Yeah,
You're not a doctor. You don't look like a doctor, so you might need some real help.
Yeah, you might be right. Where is it?
You know, in the city, and are able to give her concise directions.
So I do that.
You do the thing.
Now, if I was playing myself,
Oh, no,
I would
Laura,
immediately
no.
get lost, but I'm gonna assume that I can.
Okay,
follow
it's like
these
right
directions.
down the street, and then you see that house that's visible in the distance. That one right there.
Yes.
That one right there.
The house.
Yes. The only one you can't mistake it.
All right, got it. Can you just help me drag her onto this cart?
Drag her
Real quick.
onto it? Yeah, I can help you put her on there.
The two of you are able to shove her up onto the cart and roll her over the lip. The bag then following after her,
Okay.
landing on top of her.
I'll meet
Ow.
you over there in a few minutes, I guess.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Please get off me.
Thank you so much.
Please get
Let's
off me.
go.
You
Oh,
grab
God,
you grab the reins of the cart, the handles of the cart above you, and start running. At first, it tilts back from her weight in the cart, and you're running without your feet touching the ground until she gives a little push, and you get traction and start pulling.
All right. Got it.
A few moments later, the dwarf returns with several watchmen in tow, and points to the man on the ground, who at this point I will say has expired.
Oof.
Unfortunate.
He's
Oh,
not
we
moving.
killed him.
Oh.
And then to the two in his shop, as well as the smoke rising and gaping hole in his shop. And he's saying, "That's the lass I told you about. She dropped these men. She helped drop these men and got me back my hat."
Yeah.
He says, and the watch captain just comes over. Good evening, Miss Halfling. Can you tell us what happened? He's a grizzled man with a cigar tucked into the shoulder pauldron of his armor, just like tucked under, so unlit,
Oh, okay.
and a kind of a tin pan hat going
Yeah,
with his
gotcha.
watch helmet.
Do I know that only 3 people are found?
Well, you did see that there were 4 total, and
Right.
you know one probably got away.
Okay. So that's important information to impart.
Okay, you let him know that one of them did get away.
And he had a bag of stuff with him.
Yes. Okay. You let the watchman go, and he just asks your name and if you're staying in the city.
I'm saying I'll be here overnight, I guess.
Okay. He asks where he can call upon to find you.
At the apothecary.
All right, he makes a note of that. Oh, you're boarding with her then. All right.
Okay.
And allows you to go on your way. This took a few minutes, so you'll join the next scene a few minutes in.
Okay.
Gira, Eris,
Yeah.
you enjoy a rather tumbly, rocky ride on cobblestones in a wooden wheeled cart.
And I've wrapped your bandages so badly.
Thank
Eventually,
goodness it's not far.
You come to a
I
stop
tried.
before a couple streets over at the so labeled apothecary shop. There is a single wooden sign swinging above the door, extending into the street, denoting that this is Potions and Apothecary Works. The windows from the outside seemed at this hour covered in drawn curtains, though there is candlelight coming through the shaded glass of the door. Not shaded, but smoked.
Okay.
Apothecary Works. Taking notes for myself.
Yeah, I was gonna. I'll take it.
As you knock on the door, it swings easily inward, as though it has not yet been latched, because the business day is still open. And it doesn't so much chime as knocks an entire small candelabra of wind chimes set before it.
Oh, wind chimes, thank God.
Like just a cacophony of jingling, jangling, twinkling sounds, like the night sky made symphony.
That is beautiful.
You'd appreciate that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The room
Wait,
is
sorry. Okay, so.
Distracted. Oh, that's so nice. What did I come here for?
Can I buy one of these?
Where'd you get this?
You head back to the cart, I imagine, and
Eventually.
help get her out of it along with her bag, and help steady her as you walk into the shop.
Onto her back and not onto the girl's first.
The shop is full of various cabinets and shelves and display cases full of pots of various unguents and salves, phials of various potions, displays of small crystal arrangements, tiny glass unicorns, and a variety of all things. Just very artsy, a lot of beaded curtains, a lot of crystals, a lot of candles set behind crystals to spread color into the room.
I like
It
this
smells like
place.
weed.
And, well, yes, it does have a certain
Pungence.
pungence to the room, a certain
Yeah.
medicinal scent. It could be any number of scents. And there is a shop counter behind which there is a beaded curtain to a room behind. And the beaded curtain, in a cacophony of clacks and clicks, is parted by two massive hands, as out steps in a long, flowing, sequined blue and green dress, more like a muumuu, or more of a poncho, I shall say, is an older one in her winter with a crown of flowers and long, long, shining white hair.
Oh my god.
She is extremely overly made up in the face with a caking of rouge and noticeable blush, as well as painted black eyebrows on her face. Her shoulders are wide set and her figure just tapers down into like a triangular shape to her feet beneath the poncho, which goes all the way to her ankles.
I whisper under my breath, "Teach me your ways."
And she says with a deep voice and deep and booming voice,
Yeah.
with a deep breath, "Hello and welcome," she says, "to Potions and Apothecary Works. I am the apothecary on call." "Oh my," she says, taking you in as you are supported by the gnome beside you. "Are you all right, miss?"
Okay, first of all, you're beautiful. Second of all, my friend is hurt a little bit.
Oh, thank you
By a
for the
little bit, I mean
compliment.
a lot of it.
I like that
actually,
a
I
lot
don't really
it became a thing.
know her that well, but she's like hurting a lot, so if you could.
I can see.
So.
Oh, please, come inside. I shall tend to you.
Apothecary. That's great.
Yes, please, come inside, out of the cold, she says, and beckons you further into her shop. "Quickly, behind, we'll have to go to the workshop. I have a fresh salve that shall help."
More walking?
I whisper to you, "How great is she?" Touch me.
All right. And she leads you, the two of you, into the back of the shop and asks you to get up on a small, just a padded examination table.
Plop.
All right, she, with all the ceremony of someone who's done something a million times, she grasps both bolt heads and just snaps them at the base where they get into your skin. It hurts for one, and she just flicks them aside, takes out some very small metal tongs, and carefully uncorking with the other hand, a bottle of brandy, pours some over the wounds.
Can I grab your hand at this point?
My hand?
Yes.
I would be honored.
Okay. Because I'm hurting.
And carefully, with the tongs, removes the barbed heads of the bolts in your chest. Flings them aside without a second care, and then drinks a bit of the brandy. Setting it down hard. She then goes and grabs a red clay pot
It's all right. It's
that
just a
fits
cap.
neatly in her big, meaty hand. Uncorks the cork that's jammed into it, and reaches in with 2 fingers and pulls out a massive salve, and just splots part of it into one wound. It smells very pungent and aromatic. Another to the other wound, and then tells you, lick this.
Ew.
Did you wash your hands first?
I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing.
Oh my god. I can't believe you have 1 HP and you were concerned about this. I love
Okay.
that.
Turn around and don't look at this. This is embarrassing.
How could I not look at this?
She shoves her fingers forward as you go to lick it and puts the whole mass of salve
Vicks.
in your mouth.
It's Vicks. It's Vicks.
In surprise, you find yourself swallowing
Oh
and are cured 1d8 hit points.
Oh, yay!
Plus 3. So you are cured 8 hit points. So you're back to your maximum of 7. As you feel so much better.
Oh, gosh.
Ew, that tasted terrible.
Yuck.
But damn it,
But you're
Vicks
like
don't
coughing
work.
and hacking at this. At which point,
Emran.
Embrin, you enter the shop that you know to be the apothecaries who can help people in certain dire straits. Perhaps can help you solve some of your own issues later. And you push the door open. There's like a cacophony of chimes and tinkling sounds, like.
Okay.
And you hear coughing, sputtering, and a shouting coming from the back room through a beaded curtain.
Gosh, that sounds beautiful. Not you, sorry.
Hello.
We're in the back.
So I'll go back there.
And she says, medical emergency. And you see your friend, or not their friend, the person you
Acquaintance.
met, acquaintances,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
on the
These
table,
are-
sputtering some gooey blue shit out of her mouth.
Smells minty.
As the apothecary is washing her hands in a basin and then recorking
Oh, now she washes it.
and recorking
Well, they're
the clay
covered in
pot.
Vicks.
That's true.
There you are, right as rain. Now, how did you get crossbow bolts in you, young miss?
Funny story.
Can I do something to distract her?
Yes, you can talk to her.
I can talk to her. What an interesting concept.
You can do anything you want to do. What do you want to do? You can just poke around her things and knock something over.
I absolutely compliment her dress.
By the way,
Oh, she turns to you immediately and says, oh, why, thank you, you adorable dear you. And she begins showing off and talking about her dress to you, about how she went out into the forest and hunted down the berries for the dyes all herself.
are you okay?
I listen with
Are you
actual
feeling any
rapt
better?
attention because that sounds amazing.
She goes on and on about the alchemical
Hey.
properties of various berries and leaves and roots and how to make
alright?
proper dyes of them
Are you
that can help keep one with
crying?
vim and vigor well into the day.
No, why is everybody hugging me?
Are we hugging yet?
No. Okay, hello. Hi.
Since you are...
Hi. Hi.
It was an emergency, but that salve was expensive. I'm afraid I'm going to... she thinks to herself, well, I am running a business and I can't afford to turn anyone out, but I'll say this, you seem like a capable young group. I know, since you're all so thick as thieves together, I must ask of you to pay for that
Funny
potion by
story.
running a small errand for me, she says with a smile.
What a coincidence.
Man, what a pot.
For helping heal your friend in this dire strait, I just need you to head to a nearby farming town and collect an order of various assorted herbs, berries, and alchemical reagents for my business. In fact, the cost of transporting them is such that I will actually still pay you on top of what is owed me for the services rendered, she says with a broad smile.
Dollars, you say.
That kind of shapes
Gold,
her
you
jowls
say.
a little bit.
What?
That shapes her wrinkled jowls a little bit as she
Pushes
smiles
back her
broadly.
smiley face. And...
How can we say no to that beautiful face?
She then flips her long silver hair, shimmery silver hair, that goes all the way down, in fact, to her ankles, much like her dress.
So how much exactly would this be for?
What do we have to do?
After the
Yeah.
cost of the potion salve I have spent to help your friend, it shall merely be... I shall pay you a total sum of 7 gold pieces.
7?
7's more than a person can live off in a day.
a lot.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's going to be a bit.
To
Even
retrieve,
split 3 ways.
these supplies. But please rest first. If you don't have an inn room, I have a guest room you may use.
Well, I guess that'll work.
That I may... So, please, you must have an interesting story, she says, in questioning.
I need a nap. I don't want to talk about anything.
Are we?
Oh, of
are
course,
We
you
are
were
we
fun.
hungry?
It's a fascinating story. Let me tell you in the
Okay.
form of a song.
Actually, can we eat first? It's been a long day.
Oh, I do enjoy entertaining boarders. Certainly, please. Please, come into the side room.
right.
From the back. Not a storefront, but just looks like a general room, a common area, as well as several rooms off of it and a stair going up. She says, I keep many boarders, and every so often, but right now you're lucky that I am mostly empty. I have 1 bunk room 3.
Oh, that's perfect, I guess.
And she says,
So we're talking over dinner.
yeah, it's close to dinner. She, in fact, has a pot boiling on the stove. And a few other of her boarders have come out and are joining you all lot for supper. Men and women, various types of people. You know, one huge hulking figure, bald of head and covered in various markings. You've heard of people like him, the giant king of the mountains. Another, just a small woman with red hair, not quite halfling small, but small for a human at least. Not quite tall enough, not quite short enough to be a dwarf, but just sitting and eating quietly, and just a few other peoples as the apothecary drones on and on about the healthy properties of the root vegetables and leaf vegetables that she has used to make this stew.
I'm listening
what I
with
had
rapt
for-
attention.
That's what I had for dinner yesterday, like literally.
Yeah, okay, this is in real life. Your description, just you said like root vegetable soup. I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah, it actually came out really good yesterday.
And so
Are we actually eating?
you're
currently?
actually eating a healthy meal.
Can I be sobbing into my soup?
You can be.
Hey.
Oh, she's don't. She shusses over to her other boarders and says, "Oh, don't worry about her. I just had to pull a crossbow bolt out of the girl. She'll be fine soon enough."
You'll be fine.
Can I just, at this point, just like drink a lot?
Well, yeah, she let you have the brandy.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Yay! Can I be really drunk and just like,
Yes.
you guys?
What's in Constitution?
Nobody has ever been so nice to me. That's so sad.
Oh. Apparently, my character's gonna be huggy because I hug you.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Just come hug me.
Oh my god.
But you're very tall, so I'm just like hugging your leg, I guess.
Like, yes.
Or like around your waist.
We're all sitting.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm just like sobbing into my soup. Let's be friends forever. Can I join you?
My first friend in a new city.
Oh my god.
I start crying too.
Can I eat? I was eating.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I was eating. Did you cry in my soup?
I'm fine now.
It's a salty soup. It's fine.
Sorry. Okay, I'm fine now.
Well,
I'm fine.
you sure? Are you?
I'm getting there. Okay.
Are you sure?
This is
No, I'm
sure
good
been an
now.
emotional day.
I'm good.
I am very tired.
I'm fine. Let's see.
Let's eat now. After all that.
Well, you're able to eat, and after the hearty stew, there's also a small, slightly stale bread course, as is the custom in this era. Bread keeps; it's heartily made. So crumbly bread that you can dip in the soup.
Delicious.
Yay.
And
Croutons.
God.
when it's done, you are provided with
Liquid
your.
I am gazpacho. Ooh.
Okay, that's enough.
With that included, you are shown to the boarding bunk room. There are actually 4 beds in this small room.
Oh.
And, well, for those of you who are small size, they are ginormous beds. For those of you who are
No.
medium size, it's
No.
a tight, uncomfortable fit.
Bunk buddies.
Oh my god, no.
And you realize
I
as you
don't know
begin
you.
settling in to sleep for the night, you don't know each other's names.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Gita Jewel Soul.
Is that like one word or?
Jewel Soul.
Oh my god.
I haven't really decided yet. It's kind of my stage name.
Your stage name?
Yeah, oh my god. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. I'm actually a performer. That's why I have this pipe right here. If you want, I can give you another
No,
example
you know
of
what?
my skills.
Another example of your skills, you mean like your healing skills? Or maybe you should not. Why did I become so sassy? I didn't mean to be sassy.
Let the sass flow if it works for you.
I just let a sad note out of the recorder.
We'll get you a slide whistle. Or a kazoo.
I have a kazoo. I'm totally bringing a kazoo next time. I have an
Lovely.
actual kazoo.
Lovely.
Perfect.
Okay.
Embrin.
Wow.
Embrin.
Nice to meet you.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
I'm shaking your
Okay,
hand.
that's enough.
Okay. All
Enough.
right. Nice to meet you.
You too.
I'm Gita.
I am passed out on this bed.
I passed out on this bed. I'm dead.
That's my job.
I know. I'm going
Did you
from
pass
sassy to
out?
corny, back and forth and back and forth.
I can barely speak. I'm just like all the limbs sticking out.
Perhaps
We'll let
part-
her rest.
Are your more devilish features now visible right now?
Yeah.
I thought
Oh, shit.
Well, I thought she was all disguised up or trying to hide
Oh.
it. No?
She was? Wait, I don't know.
Oh, no,
were
no, you weren't. I was thinking about something I suggested. So, no, she's just all,
Question: would I have seen her race before? Like, because I was in a.
Wow!
That's
You
what
don't-
I mean.
You may have not seen many tieflings before, no.
No, but
Yeah.
I've seen them, so it's
Like,
not like.
yeah. They're not,
Okay.
you know they exist.
I've read about them. It's
My
just,
horns.
You're asleep. You can't.
Can you feel things through your horns?
I don't know.
no, I think that's like fingernails. I think it's keratin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's
Yeah.
carrot. Okay.
Okay, I just
I just
pat
don't-
your head.
Like you
gently.
can feel pressure probably.
Mumble your name
Like
out.
if I like grab and like whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just mumble my name out.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
You understand though, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, does she get like extra perception with like understanding what people are saying?
No, because like she has a higher passive perception, and I was
Okay.
saying
Okay,
that it was definitely
so-
difficult to hear those guys. So
So can she
Okay.
understand what Eric, what?
Maybe
Yes.
not. Oh, I can understand.
yeah.
Okay.
Eris,
We'll let
I
you
don't know that
sleep,
language.
Eris.
Oh.
Okay, gonna.
Don't do that.
Just try it. It's awful.
with the
You've
party
done enough.
With the party having met and introduced to one another, I believe we will close this pilot episode. Now,
God.
I will apologize. We had a bit of a slow start today because we're coming out of a very extended, no doubt you've seen at this point, episode 0, where we did a very extended character creation.
It was intense.
And
Intense. No, we're not intense tonight. We're in the boarding house.
yes,
Ah!
but with the night closing on the city of Southgate, safe in bunks and with a new job in the new day, and having survived dangerous encounters, though having lost at the same time something they sought. Join us next time when the party finds themselves on a particular journey to retrieve some medicine and what they find along the way.
They might find a little bit of themselves.
Join us
Laura.
next time for Dansu Dragons. Good night, everyone.
Can I?
Good night. Now I'm ready for actual bed. Good night.
Yeah.
All right.